So today we're going to talk about American society and how it's changed over the years. What's interesting about our society here in the United States is that we're a nation of immigrants. Unless you're 100% Native American, your ancestors came from somewhere else. Early on, most Americans came from Europe. First, it would have been British, Irish, French, and Dutch immigrants. And later on, the immigrants came from Eastern Europe, Poland, Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia, Austria, Italy. In fact, my parents did come from Poland. An interesting chart that you see here describes our foreign-born population, and what you see in the purple bars is representation of how many millions of foreign-born citizens we have in the United States. And what we see on this red bar is the percentage of the total population. And you can see right now in 2005, which is the most recent study, about 13% of the total population of Americans were foreign-born, which is up from the low point in 1970, which is about 5%. Americans were foreign-born. But you can see this here early on, when a large percentage of the population was foreign-born early on. Today, our immigration patterns have changed somewhat. Instead of most of immigrants coming from Europe, most immigrants today come from two places: Latin America, and we would call those immigrants Hispanics, and also Asia, China, Malaysia, Korea, places like that, even India, places like that. Of course, African American immigrants were originally brought by force in the 16, 17, 1800s, and today come from Africa and represent, the immigrants from Africa today represent a very small portion of our population. So what impact have all these immigrants had on our country? Well, what's really interesting is we have ethnic diversity. If we look at the term ethnic, it just simply means relating to races or groups of people who share common traits and customs. So, for example, I said my grandparents were Polish. That would be an ethnicity. They share common trait, common culture, customs, common background. And as we can see, we have a changing society. We have whites in the United States from European descent. African Americans make up a pretty sizable percentage of our population, and also Asians. Native Americans are represented in our society as well as Latinos, and we can see on another graph here the percentage of Americans that come from different areas of the world. We can see in 2004 about 13% of immigrants were from Europe, about 7% were from South America, 7% from Africa, but you can see 35% from Asia and 36% from Central America and Mexico, which is pretty interesting. Okay. With all these people of different ethnicities comes religious diversity. Christians, Jews, Muslims, Buddhists. Our country is made up of all types of people from all types of places, and they're all citizens. They're all citizens of the United States, and they enjoy all the rights and responsibilities that all citizens have. Another interesting thing about our changing society today is our economy. And if you look here, it says service economy. We have a service economy in our country today, which means that the majority of people in our country earn their living by providing a service rather than making or manufacturing a product. The majority of people in our country are doctors, lawyers, salespeople, consultants. They provide services, all right, rather than working in industry, factories, and things like that. Okay. Americans are also getting older. The average age of Americans has increased. We also know that Americans are becoming more educated in the past, and our Latino population is definitely growing.